So, we're here with Dexter a fucking again. This has got to be a record. I mean, holy shit. 3 parts to one review video where I can't even talk 2 minutes without someone coming fucking down here. It's kind of impressive. Um, so he sees kind of Isaac drive by and like they shoot up the donut shop. That whole thing happens. I don't really want to go into huge detail. So at the station, Deb tells Dexter that he is a witness so she can arrest Isaac. Like, he saw Isaac shoot up this donut place, so he has every right to like put that in as a testimony and get him arrested. Maria LaGuerta leaves to take care of some business on the other side of town, and we know exactly what that means. I mean, she's cracking down on Dexter, so Hannah is ordering supplies when Deborah arrives, but she immediately hangs up, to talk to the lieutenant, kind of addresses her as such. Deb says she's not buying anything from her, she doesn't like her as a person. Hannah says, look, I think you have the wrong idea. Tells her to be quiet. Deb is not having any of Hannah's shit right now. Hannah says, well, I think you'd be surprised at the things that you don't know about me. Deb said, Sal Price shared everything with me about you. And it's like, how can one other person, like, tell another person about I don't know. How can one person just know about someone 100%? Like, that's not possible. And Hannah says Sal Price was a storyteller. I mean, he created agendas, and that's pretty true in a way. Created agendas to make money off his job and all this sorts of stuff. And Deb said, you admitted to tape on him that you killed with Wayne. And, yeah, again, she has immunity for that case. Hannah said, Lieutenant, what were you doing when you were 15 years old? Doing stupid shit probably. Obviously, murdering people is quite the extreme of stupid shit, but you were doing stupid shit. Like, Deb said, you knew exactly what you were doing then. How do you, no? If you're not an adult yet, once you're 18, yeah, maybe you can make smart choices, but in your youth, you gotta admit, everyone has done some stupid shit at some point. Hannah said, I don't know why I care so much what you think, but somehow I do, so I'm sorry. And Deb said, you haven't even begun to be sorry. You haven't even owned up to any of your crimes. Why the hell? And Hannah's just thinking to herself, why the hell do I care what this dumbass bitch thinks about me? She doesn't know me at all. No, not a lot of people know me. So George is on the phone with the higher-ups in Ukraine talking about Isaac, him going low-key, him escaping, police watch to carry on with the drug operation. So after their conversation, George pops his head into Quinn's car and claims he couldn't get Nadia's passport because the guys in Kiev pulled the strings. And, I mean, I feel like he's kind of bullshitting. He just doesn't want to on the phone. He just doesn't want to give that passport away. He doesn't want to lose a dancer. Nadia apparently is a pretty valuable part of their whole thing. While following Isaac, Dexter gets a call from Jamie to let him know they're 3 hours away because they're coming back. Their grandpa's in the hospital. They don't really have anyone to watch over them, so they're coming back to Miami, which again is pretty dope to see his children return. And obviously, Harrison's growing up, all this stuff. Dexter breaks into Victor Boskov's apartment, planning to kill Isaac and blame it on the Colombian cartel. Obviously, they're having beefs. There's prior altercations that have literally happened weeks before, maybe even a couple days before. And there's a hitman there trying to kill Isaac, and Dexter ends up killing him and all that stuff. Maria asks the marina master at Coral Cove Marina to run some names because she realizes the guy that was the Bay Harbor butcher dumped bodies into the harbor and narrowed down some marinas. And yeah, it's Coral Cove Marina. That's where Dexter holds his boat. And Dexter tried to slip there. He suddenly moved his boat. He had 8 months to go on his lease, and she finds that kind of suspicious. The kids, Dexter, Deb, and Jamie have dinner at Angel's new restaurant. Obviously, that's a cool little storyline that's been going on. Obviously Astor and Cody having sibling fights, and Astor smokes pot, and they're talking to her about it. So back at her beach house, Deb tells Dexter that he was right about not killing Hannah. It must have been hard for him to resist, and thanking him for caring, all that stuff. Dexter shows up at Hannah's house, even though they're not really supposed to see each other because it would look pretty bad. Isaac Sherko wants to kill him. He needs to kill Isaac. and she like wants to help him kill him because they care about each other and they like killing people. Yeah. And they really enjoy telling each other about their times as murderers, which is kind of fucked up. But yeah, obviously that's something to bond over. Nadia assures Quinn that she only has to work 2 more years for George because he likes his dancers young. So, yeah, like, after those 2 years, she's free to do whatever the hell she wants. She doesn't want him doing jobs for him. And, George shows up and pretty much blackmailing Quinn because he has this clip of him saying he'll keep them clean and stuff. And obviously, George is fucking involved. Like, what? It doesn't make sense. So upon entering the apartment, Isaac and Jurg Yelashevich find the hitman's body, and they're just fucking confused. Like, why is there a dead body in this dude's apartment? One of George Novikov's men the Brotherhood gave permission to have Isaac killed, which is kind of crazy. His own Brotherhood is starting to, like, turn on him. It's kind of a wild story, a wild change of events. Miami Metro processes the scene while Isaac sits on the couch making sarcastic comments, kind of mocking the police. Obviously, Metro arrested him before, so he has no fucking love for them. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, Dexter kind of tells him the scene and all this stuff, and Isaac in his mind knows that Dexter killed this dude. Dexter joins Jamie and the kids at the beach, and he helps Harrison build a moat for his sandcastle, spending some time with the kids. They're back in town. Dexter needs to be a loving father because they have no other father figures except for their grandparents and Jamie, Dexter takes a call from Hannah. She needs her greenhouse key. He left in the van, and she shows up, and she thinks that Jamie's like his girl or something, even though she's considerably younger than like Dexter and Batista, That night, Deborah spots Hannah's keychain and realizes Dexter has a relationship with her, and she kind of figures it out, and they have this kind of insane conversation. So many confessionals spilling out, she was in love with him. She told him all these things. And yeah. Dexter follows Isaac in his police escort while thinking about what Deb said about being in love with him. Like, what the hell does she mean by that? He's kind of like reflecting, like, is my sister like in love with me, or is she just like who I am? I don't know. Isaac has moved to a secret hideout because like people are on him. People are trying to kill him. From his car, Quinn watches a drug transfer at the Foxhole, trying to maybe even get a drug bust going because he works in narcotics. He knows he worked in narcotics. I don't know if he still does. I think he got transferred back. And he knows what he's doing there. Maria LaGuerta is at a marina staring at Dexter's boat, apparently close to connecting the dots. Astor shares a joint with Deborah at the beach house. Dexter returns to Hannah, reflecting on the meaning of home. So a bunch of storylines, and like a little smart way the show does it, they kind of just tie in at the end. And this is interesting. Astor smoking pot and sharing a joint with Deborah was kind of an interesting moment. And Maria LaGuerta cracking down on Dexter and Hannah's relationship continuing, Quinn trying to crack down on the Koshka Brotherhood. He already has a lot of what he needs, and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, leave a like, comment, subscribe. As always, this is GZTV, giving you guys the best TV show content. I'm gonna go watch The Walking Dead because I honestly like The Walking Dead right now more than I like Dexter right now. And we're watching the 4th episode of The Idol. I heard it's going to get explicit. I'm going to have to be careful watching it around my family. Like, holy shit. There's only like